ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another video from Fountain Pen World. This time, I call this video very affordable, low budget fountain pens. Take it as a joke a little bit, take it as just a fun video. You don't need to take it serious, and fountain pen friends, lovers who are more interested in fine writing instruments, expensive writing instruments, beautiful resin materials, you may take a look at this video, but most probably you won't be convinced about what I want to show, present, and speak about. Okay, let's dive in. I have a few fountain pens from China, and I acquired them years ago and never really took a look at them. I bought them from AliExpress at that time at a very, very low price, and I think they are still low-priced fountain pens. So, for example, this fountain pen here came together with 5 other fountain pens, and they are all ground as stub nibs, as you can see here, in different dimensions. So, for example, this stub nib here was branded with 0.7 millimeter. In reality, it made lines which are more 1 millimeter, 1.1 millimeter. So I had to regrind it. Anyway, there were 6 of them, and I can show you here the full set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the largest one is 2.9 millimeter, 2.5 millimeter, 1.5, 1.9, 1.5, 1.1, and 0.7 millimeters. As I said, that was 0.7, and I thought really I could put lines on the paper with a line width of 0.7 millimeter. No, unfortunately, it wrote much broader. It gave much broader line width. This is true for all of these nibs here in this set of so-called calligraphy fountain pens. You can find them still on AliExpress. I got this set branded as Lan Xi Vi. I'm writing that down later. And as you can see, it's a copy of Lamy design, and it's a converter. Simple as that, but working well, very well. And it was my ignorance not to take a better look, a closer look to these fountain pens. When I got them, I filled up 1 or 2 with ink because they were marked, advertised as calligraphy nibs, but simply you can see this grinding is just a flat stub. Nothing special, and I was a little bit disencouraged using them simply because I thought they were really different calligraphy nibs, which I used in dip pens, but no, that was not the case. And all of these pens or better to say all of these nibs, needed some additional buffering or even grinding. Sometimes a little bit more time intensive, sometimes yeah, just a little bit buffering. I will show later the tools I'm using for those tasks. Okay, you can see push-pull, really nothing special, at a price of, let me just check my notes, at a price of roughly $6 the set at that time, I have to say. I'm not sure the prices right now. I didn't look it up on AliExpress. And the other fountain pens I want to show are these so-called bamboo TKDK brand. If that is right or not, I don't know. Sellers on Ali don't take things like that, branding and so on, very serious. But let's say customers who are frequently buying from AliExpress do know that, and most probably do not think about it any further. This is light bamboo. I have marked it with EEF, self-grind. And this is the bamboo wood fountain pen with a 1.1 stub. And both fountain pens, or better to say both nibs, were not in line with the specifications. So this fountain pen here in red bamboo, absolutely nice material, very, very soft, very well made. Even the clip here, very functional, full metal. The rings are nice. Okay, now here we see this piece of metal at the end of the grip, of the section grip. This is really cheap, absolutely cheap. But what can you expect for a $1 to $2 fountain pen? And again here, this is with a converter. The funny thing is this converter is operated like this, not turning, just push down and suck up the ink by pushing it back. The slider. So this fountain pen is unworked, and I think it's, yeah, it said F nib. In reality, it made a line of between M and B, more to the B side. So to be honest, this fountain pen here, where I did a, no, sorry, it is the other one, yeah, where I mentioned EEF self-grind. I had to put a lot of work into it, and my original goal was to do a regrind to a 0.2 millimeter needle point. I gave up this task because I didn't want to ruin the nib. But all in all, the result which I achieved so far was quite good. The line is significantly less broad. It's maybe, yeah, an F to EF, Western style. And in reverse writing, it achieves really something like an extra fine line width. As I said, this task, regrinding itself, buffering by myself, took me quite a time, but the result was okay. With this fountain pen here, it was advertised as a 1.5 stub, and the nib was, well, doing everything but 1.5 stub. So I swapped the nib. They are all friction fit. This one here and these one are friction fit. You need a little bit of strength in order to remove the nib. I put in a 1.1 stub from a no-name brand from China, which I had bought also as a spare part, and it came quite handy with this fountain pen. Also writing very, very nice now. And as I said, all these pens are really an very, very affordable, budget, low price alternative if you are just looking for a fountain pen, writing with a fountain pen, and not paying too much attention to the look, the material of fountain pens, which are of a higher quality, a much higher quality, and much more beautiful. So they are all quite dull, a little bit dull, and not catching the eye, of course. So you cannot compare them with Mont Blancs or Leonardos, nowadays coming only in new dresses, so to speak, but no new models, or with a Delta, Pelican, whatever you want. Scribo, all these high-priced Western brands, and also higher-priced Chinese fountain pens. Not because the Chinese fountain pen industry raised prices. When you are going to buy from AliExpress, you are paying now much more than the Chinese retail prices. The only benefit is that you make the dealer rich. That's all of it. Okay, I think I have talked enough about the fountain pens themselves, so maybe it's time to speak a little bit about some tools which I'm using during or for the grinding. And this tool here, this is a little bit old, but yeah, it's quite a long time in use. And it has some very fine grits. Basically, just for shining nails or for, how to say, not grinding, but buffering fountain pen nib tips, which are not writing smooth enough for your taste. So some people don't care. It is scratchy, but I like to have my nibs smooth. And some nibs, they don't need an intensive rework. They just need some strokes here on this green and this white, very, very fine grit in order to write smooth for the first time. And for fountain pens like, wait, is it? Yeah, this one, that is a self-grind. And yeah, you can't see that I've ground by myself And that speaks a little bit for my non-existing skills. But anyway, so with this fountain pen, I used a Dremel tool. First of all, in order to remove material here and here at the tines. I gave up this process because I became tired. I became not, how to say, I became tired. And so I felt better to stop and continue with these sandpaper. I'm only using sandpaper, not the more expensive grinding pads which you can buy from Amazon, which are quite good, no doubt about that. But I'm using only sandpaper, and these are quite big pads, and these are small pads. And you can see 100 grit, 240, 180 grit, 3000 and 1500. I'm not using this any longer because it's I have to replace it basically. So, and then I'm using the larger, in diameter larger sandpapers, which are 400, 1000, 2000, 3000, 5000, 7000, and down to 10,000, which is very, very fine. I think maybe this white one here is something around 7,000, 8,000, and this one is about maybe 6,000. I bought them on AliExpress for, I don't know, a bunch of $2-3. And I still have a lot of them as spare parts. The good thing is you can wash them. Take a toothbrush, get rid of the ink. They are, you see, squeezable, water resistant. Just put them in water. They are swimming on the water, and then you can start to clean out. Here I didn't do what I should have done, and I have to say these fine grits here are really lasting for a long time. And then it is up to you how to say. So if you are going to buy for those, or if you are going to buy those fountain pens, so be prepared that you have to do sometimes some more intensive sanding work and fine buffering and also fine grinding work. So I would say here this tool is more for fine grinding, and these tools here, or these sandpapers here, are more for fine buffering and more extensive work. And of course the Dremel tool, but such work is possible for everyone. You just have to have the confidence to do it. Start slowly. Interrupt the grinding and fine grinding process frequently to check the progress. And soon you will get a feeling for the progress without interrupting more often than necessary. Even using a Dremel tool for self-cutting nibs is possible. It is just in you. Have the confidence to do it. This is all what I can say about that. And I had also absolutely no idea. I saw some videos, people are showing what they are going to do, and yes, it worked well. And then I said, okay, if they can do it, I want to try it as well. And yeah, In the beginning, some failures, some not impressive work, but time showed some progress really, and now I'm doing those jobs by myself. So I think it's time for some writing samples, and now I have to use the pause. So I just had to adjust the white balance, and let's start with this Lamy copy of a fountain pen, of a calligraphy pen, which is called calligraphy pen. Should take this away. So, and let's go closer. Let's make a close-up. And again, I'm using here not the most expensive paper. This is just from I think from a Chinese notebook writing sample. As I said, this Lan Xi Vi, I don't know how to, or Lan Xi Vi, whatever. I have no idea how to pronounce that in a correct way. It's derived from Chinese words and put into Latin letters, and yeah. Well, this is, as I said, the original 0.7 regrind. I'm trying to do, and this is with normal writing, using the nib as it should be. Normal writing. I think, yeah, the stub works quite well. It is not a sophisticated nib, but it works. It's doing the job. How can I show you? No, this is now reverse writing, something which is really important to me. Reverse writing. Putting a lower strokes, as you can see here. Now a nice nib. Putting lines. I'm not speaking about a line of cocaine. Putting lines below 0.7 millimeters on the paper. I think it's looking quite good. Of course, it's not high calligraphy art, but it is giving a little bit of flair. So let's see. Quick brown. Fox. is jumping. And now reverse writing over the lazy dog. Oh, quite nice. Okay, now going back to the self-grind, and I call it an EF normal writing. And here reverse writing. Oh, it's still a round tip. Round tip nib. But reworked. As I said, it was original F with lines between M to B. The ink here is Noodler's Saguaro Red. I bought this bottle, I think 2 or 3 years ago. It is still okay, still fine. This ink is, this red is absolutely beautiful. I like it very much. What I don't like so much is if the ink comes to your fingers, it takes really some time to get rid of it. If the ink stains cloth or whatever, it is nearly impossible to get it out. It's not a permanent ink. It's a, I would say, semi-permanent ink. Even though I love this red tone, I am not going any longer for Noodler's ink. For example, I love this Bay State blue. It's a saturated blue tone, which I love really very, very much. But all the problems I have seen on reviews with this ink doesn't really appeal to me, and I'm not going any again for Noodler's ink. So let's see what we do have here. This is the 1.1 Stub. This is only a nib which I swapped, and I did a little bit buffering because it was quite rough. Let's see here. This is the bamboo. Oh, by the way, that is also bamboo here. The bamboo pen. And the bamboo pen. Yeah, quite nice. 1.1, in the range of 1.1. Stub. Steel. You hear the feedback is still there, but this is because also I Yeah, here you can see the nib is more to the, or better to say, I'm writing more with the right tine of the nib. Let's do it with the left side. There is nearly nothing and scratchy, so could use a little bit more buffering. Reverse writing. It is doing, but it's now not keeping up. Before it was keeping up. Maybe running out of ink. Cannot. Oh yes. Oh yeah. Oh, seems to be. I'm using these pens these days a little bit more often. Let's go back to normal writing. This is just my abbreviation, NW or NWR, and reverse writing. Oh, I see that you don't see. Sorry for that. That is my problem always with writing samples. Let's go over here. And as I said, this is the bamboo. TK, DK. That was, I put a question mark here, that was a name which I found on one of these purchases. What intrigues me really with this fountain pen is the quality of the bamboo. Just take into consideration S-Wine and also Hongdian with their stabilized wood fountain pens, which are a lot more money, which came for a lot more money, which had a lot of flaws, and stabilized wood for what? Why? Why does this wood need stabilization? I never understand that. I never understood it, and I won't never understand it. My feeling is this can't be, those fountain pens can't be made from, let's say, a chunk of wood. Because a chunk of wood like here doesn't need stabilization. It's stable enough. So what they did there, Hongdian and also S-Wine, I have no idea. Yeah, that was the show. I hope that you. Oh, sorry. Did I show you reverse writing? Yes, I think I showed you, no? Reverse writing. It's not keeping up. Sorry. No. It was reverse. It was really keeping up well, and it made so nice fine lines. But yeah, running empty, or I have to do another buffering. Yeah. Anyway, that was the show. I hope I didn't bother you too much. It was not boring. As I said, these are really cheap alternatives for higher priced fountain pens, because they do really what a fountain pen should do. They are not looking fancy, beautiful, whatever, but they are putting lines on the paper. By the way, the writing sample for the Lan Xi Vi is 0.7 regrind, is diamine chocolate brown fountain pen ink, which I acquired also a few years ago. I wanted to try the brown color, but I was not really impressed by it. Now I'm using it in these low-priced fountain pens here, and it's quite okay. And maybe I'm going to use this brown in other fountain pens, but with the Saguaro red from Noodlers, I won't put that in fountain pens, which are much more expensive, simply because I'm afraid of getting rid of all the stains and getting them clean, really clean again. So that was the show for the third time again. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it was not so much boring. Take it as a fun video. Take it as whatever you like to take it. Thank you for watching. Take care. Enjoy your fountain pens. And yeah, stay healthy. Bye-bye.